Yeah. Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shabbat shalom. Giving all praises to the Most High and to His Son, Yahweh. We are battle axes of the Most High, and today's class is taking counsel. And we're going to touch on a few things today, resolving this issue or going into these scriptures, because that's very important in the nation of Israel. We have and must learn to take counsel. Like we was going into earlier, what good is us being sick if we don't take the medicine that the Most High God gives us? Because we know that we catching hell in here in America. So the Most High God gives us the solutions to combat the problems that we face every day. You know, we got to counsel. Counseling makes and builds us up to be a strong nation. You know, that's what it's all about, building and moving forward and growing in the truth. You know, let's start out with 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 16.
And like I said, these are just basic precepts. Everybody should know this precept. Read that out.
All is given by inspiration of God.
So all the scriptures of the Bible is given by inspiration of the Most High God. The Most High put the spirit in man to write the scriptures. Like we say when brothers is coming up asking us, who wrote that Bible? The Most High wrote the Bible. He put the spirit on the brothers to write it. It was inspired by God, but it was written by men. Read on out.
And it's profitable for doctrine.
And it is profitable for doctrine. That means you benefit something from going to the scriptures. Like we always say, get in these scriptures, apply the scriptures. That's what help us get to the kingdom. Read on out.
For reproof.
For what?
Reproof.
For correction. That's what reproof is. Read on out.
For correction.
For what?
Correction.
And it backs it up with saying correction. This Bible is all about correction. Learning to put off that old man and that old woman and come into the correction of what the Bible defines correction as. Read on out.
And that reproof is also meaning reproofing what you've already learned in this nation in life, because a lot of times we learn a lot of lies. Back to the Bible, and it's reproofing what you thought you knew.
All praise. Read that from the top again. This is a good point, man.
All scripture is given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction.
For correction. Read on.
For instruction in righteousness.
So the Bible gives us instructions for righteousness. The Bible dictates what righteousness is, and we all know what righteousness is. Let's get it for the people that's new. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 25. Let's see what righteousness is, because we got to get out of leaning on our own vain opinion, our own thoughts. You got that up?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness.
It shall be our righteousness. Now God is going to define what righteousness is. Read on.
If we observe to do all these commandments.
If we do what?
Observe to do all these commandments.
So righteousness is observing to do, not just lip service, because that's what Christianity tells us. They all about lip service, but when you get to the truth of the Bible, it's all about action, the things that you put forth. Read on.
Before the Lord our God, as he had commanded us.
So righteousness is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Let's go back up. So we know that it gives us instructions in righteousness. That instruction is going into the commandments. The Most High has it laid out, everything what we need to do and what we need to go to make it through the captivity. That's what this is all about. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 28. Like I said, we had another class prepared, but we want to kind of touch on things that relate to the congregation and relate to us, what we dealing with in the world, because that's what this Bible is all for. Solution to the problems that we have. Like we said, we just got to learn how to humble our spirits and take correction and move forward, because that's what this is all about. You got that up?
Yes. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 28. For they are a nation void of counsel.
So the Most High is letting us know we are a nation void of counsel. That void is going into, we don't like counsel. You know, we hate to counsel. And the Most High is laying down the outline, because this is when they was going out being wicked and stuff. Most High had just gave them the blessings and the curses. And guess what? Israel was void of counsel, and they took the curses, man. Being wicked as hell, made a golden calf, doing all type of wickedness. Read that from the top again.
For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them.
And the Most High say, for us doing that, we have no understanding. You know, when we don't take the counsel or the correction that the Most High God has given us, guess what? That's the epitome of being, as we say, simple in this world. The Most High is all about correction. You got something out?
No, I was.
Go ahead.
Well, one thing, that's even when you hear some other doctrines, whatnot. Usually when you hearing that, it's best to come and ask questions instead of saying, I'm gonna go by that. Because people will get you in scriptures and have you twisted up in the mind and think you, oh yeah, that's what that is. But then if you don't got no understanding, that maybe that person don't have an understanding, but they got you to understand. So it's good to take counsel. Come and ask, say, hey, what do y'all think about this scripture right here? And that way we can go through it, because we don't know everything either.
Exactly.
So when you bring something to us, that's something we'll go into and start studying and try to bring out there and get the truth out of it.
Because a brother that's in leadership roles said they think that it's true, but you go to the scriptures. Like you said, lean not on your own understanding. Come to leadership. That's what leadership is for. That's why the Most High has this set up. We didn't put ourselves up here. And a lot of times that's what people think when they see so-called people that look like them. This was ordained by the Most High God. We went over that precept last week. The Most High sets up and promotes and bringing people up and bring people down. Read that from the top again, Act 32 and 28.
For they are a nation void of counsel.
So he said we void of counsel, like in us, because we out there telling our people that they're the greatest people on the planet Earth, and they hate us for that, man. That is no understanding, man. How can you hate your own people for telling you the greatest people on the planet Earth? 6 and 23. You got something you want to add on that?
No, go ahead. I'll let you know. The book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 23. Give ear, my son.
So the Most High is letting us know, give ear. Open up your understanding. Lend your ear. Read on.
Receive my advice.
Read that again.
Receive my advice.
The Most High constantly pleads with us. Receive my advice. Because guess what? When you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you can never go wrong. When you're doing what these scriptures are saying, guess what? That guarantees you a spot in the kingdom, Israel. Read on up.
And refuse not my counsel.
Read that again.
And refuse not my counsel.
So the Most High said, refuse not his counsel, Israel. When you have problems that you're going through, because guess what? Even brothers in leadership have problems that we're going through. You know, we're not exempt from this. You know, we need to talk to other brothers about our problems, because Lord knows we catching hell here in America. Men, women, and the children too. So, you know, we all need to counsel, Israel. There's no one above counsel. No one is above that, man. That's why the Most High God set these guidelines in here for us. Come talk to us about your problems, man, because a lot of times when you hold all those problems in, that is not good for you, Israel, because sooner or later it's going to erupt like a volcano. You know, the Most High has given us the guidelines. We just got to want to take the medicine, man. We have to. And I know that it's a hard thing for Israel, especially being, you know, as a nation of people. Be tough, suck it up. You know, don't talk about your problems. But that's not what the Most High God tells us. He says, seek counsel. Read that from the top again.
Let me put something in there. And women, when y'all married, your husband, your head is where you go to counseling now. If he has to bring it from there and take it to someone else because he don't have an answer, that's where it begins. But your head is where you first need to go and sit down and have the talk and conversation about that before it goes anywhere else. That's your counselor first. And then he will do what he have to do to get you the right answers. And that's where it starts. So don't go out of the order. Don't be going to no other man or going to no other camp, but some other man telling you what's going on. No, seek counsel from your head first. Then let him do what he got to do to find out what needs to be done.
Read on now.
Where we at? 28?
24.
24. And put thy feet in the into her
feathers. Into her feathers. He says, put her feet into her feathers. That feathers is going into chains. The her in this context is the counsel. Lock yourself in counsel, Israel. Read on now.
And thy neck into her chain.
And he said, bind your neck into her chain. Bind your neck into counsel, Israel. And like I said, we're going to bring up this point later on with the scriptures, but you also want to go to brothers and sisters in leadership. Guess what? That's going to judge the situation righteously. A lot of times you don't want to get information from people that's not in your situation, or from not sisters that are fully married, or that's in all the way in the truth, or even from brothers in certain situations. You want to make sure that you're getting good counsel from good godly men that's keeping the commandments, Israel. And it's a scripture that we're going to touch on later on. Read on now.
Bow down thy shoulder and bear her.
And do what?
And bear her.
Most High said, bow down thy shoulder. No, that's a fault in you. Guess what, Israel? We all have faults. There is no one that is right now on this earth that's perfect, Israel. But guess what? Not to say that we can't esteem to that level to become perfect. We are work in progress. You want to reach that level. But guess what? You got to admit your faults too. Mm-hmm. You have to admit your faults so we can move forward, Israel. Go ahead up.
And that's why I ask questions sometimes about what is the scriptures doing for you? Because the scriptures will break you down, and that's same. But when you correct yourself, that's building you right back up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So these scriptures break down and they build up. Yeah. It's a bitter and a sweet side to these scriptures. That's what I said. So you shouldn't be looking for what they call it, someone to massage your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
Making you feel good, because the scriptures is gonna make you do just that. Mm-hmm. But only if you abandon the scriptures. Now, when you want to go against these scriptures, yeah, it's ripping you apart, mm-hmm. and it's breaking you down. But when you humble yourself and go with these scriptures, it start to build you back up. The same scriptures that broke you down build you right back up.
Because just like I made a good point, man, because when you telling people, brothers and sisters, what they want to hear, that's not building them back up. That's even destroying them even mm-hmm. worse. You know what I'm saying? The Bible is all about truth and correction. So you want to bring the correction sometimes. It may not sound good, just like that medicine. It may not taste good, but guess what? In the end, it's there to help heal you and build you back up.
It's like spoiling a child.
Yeah, exactly.
You spoil that child and don't give no one whooping, mm-hmm. no correction. That son gonna go up and you be looking for him. You know, you be, hey, I got to go down to federal penitentiary.
Yeah,
to visit that child.
Because then they turn into monsters for real. That's why the Most High said, don't spur the rod. You know, do not spur the rod, especially when you're correcting your children. Read verse 25 out.
Okay. Verse 25. Bow down thy shoulder and hear her, and be
and bear her.
And bear her.
Most High said, and bear her. Read on out.
And be not grieved with her bonds. Come unto her with thy whole heart.
Read that again.
Come unto her with thy whole heart.
Come unto counsel with thy whole heart. You know, trust in leadership. Trust that the Most High God, what he has set up, that brothers can bring the correct scriptures to get you out of that situation or to help build you back up. You know, read on out.
And keep her ways with all thy power.
And keep her ways with all thy power. Read on out.
Search and seek.
Do what?
Search and seek.
Most High say, search out and seek counsel, Israel. We have to search out and do those things. You know, when we doing those things, we can never fail, Israel. And I know it's like we say, I know it's a lot of hard. It's hard sometimes, especially with us telling us to be strong black men, strong black women. But guess what? That's not what the Most High God wants us to do. He wants us to seek out counsel, Israel.
That's like what's going on now. When they when people getting sick, you know, and you ever notice all the commercials always say, I've got it diagnosed early, mm-hmm. and I was able to take care of it. And then the people that diagnose it late, them the ones you go in there, they only got a week or two left to live. You know, like, man, you should have went ahead and they've been feeling pains, they've been feeling all these hurts, and they never did nothing about it. They ignored them. Mm-hmm. But when you go and get that diagnosed, you find out what the problem is early, therefore that you can cure that problem.
Exactly. And that's a great point, man, for real. That's a really great point, because like we say, if you don't attack the problem early, it'll just be sitting in there like like lava, and just sooner or later it's gonna explode.
That's it.
You know, go ahead up. Search and seek.
Mm-hmm. And she said, and she shall be made known unto thee.
Uh-huh.
And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go.
Let her what?
Not go.
And when you get hold of counsel, don't let the counsel go. Do take the correction that the leadership is giving you, that the Most High God, because let me correct that. It's not leadership, it's the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
The scriptures is the one giving the correction, the Most High God. We are just vessels, just the Most High just using us to bring forth the correction. That's it. Because we don't, like a lot of people, do we really want the Most High God coming down and really counseling with us?
Mm-hmm.
You know, take the correction that he done sent for leadership, because hey, Most High, he gonna judge us hard, man. He ain't playing no games, man. Go ahead up.
For at the last thou shalt find her rest.
That's your what?
Find her rest.
And that's when you seek the correct counsel, guess what? Then your spirit can have rest on certain things that you're dealing with, man. You know, read on up.
And let it be known, the correction should be coming from these scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who counsels you, who's giving you advice, that's how you know when it's the Most High. Exactly. It should be coming from these scriptures. If it's not coming from these scriptures, somebody just running their mouth to you.
Exactly.
So that's where you need to, hey, show me in the scriptures.
And that's the first thing. Like we was talking about last night, that would have killed a lot of Christianity lies if we knew that one saying. Mm-hmm. What scripture says that? Yep. You know, that would have killed a lot of lies that we was taught by pastors. What scripture says that? Show me that in the scriptures. You know, but now, all praise to the Most High, we have that understanding. Go ahead, up.
For at the last thou shalt find her rest, mm-hmm. and that shall be turned to thy joy.
Read that again out the last part.
And that shall be turned to thy joy.
So when you get the correct counsel, guess what? That turns your anger or your misery into joy, Israel. When you get that correct counsel, that's just a weight off your spirit. Read on up.
Then shall her fetters be a strong defense.
And then shall her chains, because that's what fetters is going to, shall be a strong defense about Satan's craftiness. You know, saying such and such, rumors and so forth. When you got good counsel, you don't fall into the loopholes of those things. You know, you don't be, like we brought up, taken away by every wind of doctrine, by every rumor that everyone is saying. Read on up.
And her chains a robe of glory.
Uh-huh.
For there is golden ornaments upon her.
For there is what?
Golden ornaments upon her.
Uh-huh.
And her bands are purple lace.
Purple what?
Purple lace.
Because purple was the color of royalty. Read on, and gold. Read on.
Thou shalt put her on a robe of honor.
Thou shalt do what?
Put her on a robe of honor.
Thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor. You were counseled with honor, Israel. Read on up.
And shall put her about thee as a crown of joy.
All praise. Give me Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 14.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 14.
I would say Proverbs is just wise sayings. These are wise sayings of King Solomon, the wisest king ever to walk the planet Earth. So we should appear to listen to these scriptures, what he given us. This counsel, read on up.
Where no counsel is, the people fall.
Read that again.
Where no counsel is, the people fall.
Where there is no counsel, the people fall. Guess what? That's talking about the nation. You yourself, individuals, because guess what? Us individuals make up a whole nation. When you're not seeking counsel, that's like a domino effect. It just crumbles the whole thing, Israel. Most I say, where there is no counsel, the people fall. So you always want to take counsel, Israel. Read on, huh?
But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
Read that again, huh?
But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
So you have safety when you have multitudes of counselors. You can never go wrong when you're being built up by counselors of the Most High God. That's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Like we say, you don't want to get counsel from no Negro off the streets or from no sister just all up in wickedness. You think they're gonna give you the correct answers? No. Only the Most High, the men that's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments righteously. Those are the men that you go to. Is that it on that? Give me Proverbs 12:15.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 15.
And like we said, these are just basic precepts that y'all should kind of read over constantly. Reiterating yourself, get comfortable with these scriptures. Read on up.
The way of a fool is right in his own eyes.
So when brothers and sisters don't want to take counsel, guess what? The Most High God calls them a fool. And guess what? A lot of times fools maybe think they right in their own eyes. Read on up.
But he that hearken unto counsel is wise.
But the Most High God said, you become wise and become full of wisdom when you take counsel. You think that King Solomon, King David, now all these great, and even with King Solomon, this brother was the wisest king ever, but even he took counsel among the elders, Israel. So that's something that you got to adhere to. When you thinking you too big for counsel, hey, that's not the spirit that you should have. Like we say, King Solomon, the wisest king ever, he took counsel. And guess what? We're going to show you, guess what? Even the Most High take counsel. And we're going to get that scripture for you too. Read on up.
And that's another thing too. And make sure that, like he said before, make sure it's a righteous counsel. Because the spirit of the two nations was that Jeroboam seek counsel. He seek counsel from the elders. The elder gave him the right counsel. He seek counseling from his homeboy, the ones he grew up with.
You know, I got that in the scriptures, huh?
Oh, okay.
You already know. You know, we got to always bring that example up, man, because you can never go over that too much, because that's the perfect example, man. You going to young knuckleheads than brothers that's built up that have experience in this truth. You know, give me Proverbs 19:20. Praise, brother, in the spirit, man. Same. I was gonna say something, but I'll keep it to myself. Right? Give me Proverbs 19:20.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 20. Hear counsel.
The way out the scriptures is telling us, hear counsel. Hear what the Most High God has in these scriptures. Read on up.
And receive instruction.
And he tells us to receive the instruction that you get from that counsel. You don't want to just take the counsel and just, okay, I hear what y'all saying, and not apply what the instructions are. You want to apply it, because that makes you no better than Negroes out there in the streets, man. The Most High is a God that wants you to follow what he tells us to do. Read on up.
That thou mayest be wise in thy latter day.
That thou may be what?
Wise in thy latter end.
Because he knowing when you seek that counsel, guess what? You never know how you may have to counsel somebody in the future, Israel. So that's steady building on top of building, Israel. That's what this is all about. That's what this truth is all about. Growing in the truth. Putting out that old man, that old woman. You know, coming to what the Most High wants you to be. We got to put out that old man, the old woman.
And also take counsel with a humble mind too.
Exactly.
Because if you go in there with your mind already think, because this is a battle in your mind. If you already go in there with something, oh man, I don't even want to really hear what you got to say, but I'm gonna listen to it. But at the same time, you already done defeated yourself in your mind. Yeah. So when you hear that counsel, you will get your own counsel that you have already got. So what you do is humble yourself and take it as, I'm gonna go and listen to what's going on, see if it'll correct me, see if that's the problem. If not, I'll ask questions about it.
Exactly. And that's what counsel is. The counsel is coming together on one accord, making sure that we building on what the Most High wants you to be. That's a good point. Give me Sirach chapter 37 and verse 7.
Verse 7?
Yeah, 37 and 7.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 7. Every counselor exalted counsel.
Extol it?
Extol it. So like, man, I so messed that one up.
Started over.
Every counselor exalted counsel.
Jeremiah, do me a favor. Let's look up that word extol. It means to praise enthusiastically.
I can tell you, I didn't know what that meant.
But we want to, like we say, these ain't just regular Negro words, man. So we want to bring the definition that we don't use every day. Bring that up.
Hey, they got up to be Greeks and stuff. This
Let's see how I spell it.
No, you good, huh?
Extol.
Let's look that up and see what that word means. Because, like we say, we always want to get a good understanding. You know, always.
Okay, it means to praise Enthusiastically go into a rapture about over waxing lyrics about song singing, praising, praise.
What's some synonyms they got?
Rave, enthused, over, about.
Enthused, we can use that one. I like that word. Let's read it again now.
Overpraise.
Overpraise. Yeah. That's a good one.
Every counselor extolled counsel.
Every counselor extolled counsel, praise or enthused about counsel. You know, you have to take pride or what's the word I'm looking for? I guess we could use pride in counsel. Read that from
Well,
the
the
top.
thing about it is, a counselor should be happy or want to be able to solve somebody's problems, and have them move on in their lives to go down and be that should be a happy moment for them. So anytime he think, we should be at that time. Well, the thing about it, we don't know. I don't know everything, but I know everything is in this Bible, though.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So whatever problem that's brought to me, I might not be able to know it in it, but I can go in this Bible and find it. I know that because it ain't nothing I hadn't found in this Bible yet. I mean, nothing. It's everything is in this Bible. So no matter what you can bring, and that's what makes me happy when I can go, okay, hold on, it's right here in this Bible. Don't you like it when you out there, somebody asks you a question and you know exactly where to go in the Bible and give it to them, and then they get an understanding? You know that feeling? That's how counsel's supposed to be. That's like women. Y'all supposed to be counseling these younger women like that. When they come in and y'all go, okay, this is what we're supposed to be doing, and you can show them. That should make you feel happy, because when she receives it, oh man, you know what? That should make you feel happy about that. That's all I have.
Read it from the top again.
Every counselor extolled counsel, but there is some that counsel for himself.
But the Most High God, guess what? It's a flip side to that. Like we said, it's a counselor that counseleth for himself. Sometimes you have to choose the right counselors, Israel. That's what this is going into. See, the Most High God covers every nick and cranny. You know if they're a good counselor if they're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, abiding in these scriptures, never going outside of that, watching their spirit, watching the things that they say, the things that come up out of their mouth. You know if it's a good counselor or not, if you can sit down and pour out your deepest, darkest secrets unto a brother, and then know that he is there to help you fix the problem, and not judging or trying to condemn you. You know, we got to understand that. Read on now.
Beware of a counselor.
Read that again.
Beware of a counselor.
So the Most High God is letting us know it's criteria for being a counselor too. Beware of a counselor. Read on up.
And know before what need he has.
Read that again.
And know before what need he has.
The Most High said, know before what need he has. Read on.
For he would counsel for himself.
Sometimes brothers counseling for themselves, just to get the tale of tales, or just to get the rumors out sometimes.
And another thing, just because they in leadership does not make them be a good counselor.
Exactly.
I've already seen that with my own eyes, because some of these people, man, they will use what you telling them
against you,
and have your stuff out there.
Yeah, they will.
And I tell you, I don't put your stuff out there. Well, how I get over there?
And also, man, don't seek counsel from the other nations.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a must.
Because, you know, they go to school to try to teach you how to counsel. Look, this is the counsel.
Exactly.
This is the doctor. This is the physician.
And counseling ain't everybody's strength.
That too.
Exactly.
It ain't everybody's strength.
And that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? This brother might be here to counsel. That might not be my job at the Most High Baby. You know what I'm saying? It might be others. So you got to know that everybody ain't here to counsel.
Exactly.
And knowing that, if you know that ain't in your spirit to counsel, send them to the counselor. Somebody come and ask you something. Well, hold on. Let me, don't be just sitting there. You got your shirt look like the doctor's uniform, and then they come in the hospital and something like, hey, doc, can you fix this? If you can't fix it, send them to the doctor. Just show them the doctor right there. Let's go to the
commercial. I stayed in the Holiday Inn Express last night. So, you know what I'm saying? But it just ain't for everybody.
Matter of fact, we could get there right quick. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 5, verse 4. Because this is scripture that covers that, man. Like I always say, everybody have to play their part. You know, you can't have one person playing this part, Each person got to stay in their own lane. We have to. That keeps order within a nation. Read that out. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 4.
1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 4. And there are diversities of gifts.
So Most High gave each and every one of us a gift. A lot of times we got to find out what your gift is. Read on up.
But the same Spirit.
But the what?
Same Spirit.
But we all have the same Spirit. Read on.
And there are differences of administration.
So people have differences of administrations. Some sisters is good at sewing garments. Some sisters is good at preparing the food. Some brothers is good at fixing cars. Some brothers is good at teaching the scriptures. Some brothers is good at counseling. Everybody have to know what part that they play. Because like we say, the foot can't play the part of the hand, and the hand can't play the part of the foot. You know, there's confusion right there. So know what gifts that the Most High God gave you and apply those and help build up a nation. Everybody has to play their part. Read on out.
But they all of the same body.
Exactly.
So the body still work together. It just do different parts of the body.
Exactly. Coming together, like you said, that's that same spirit, that same body. Read on out.
And there are differences of administrations.
Diversities.
Diversity. No, differences.
Verse 5. My bad.
And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord.
Uh-huh.
And there are diversities of operations.
There are diversities of operations. People do different things to come together on one accord. Read on.
But it is the same God which worketh all in one.
What is the what?
Which is the same God which worketh all in one.
So everybody has to stay in their own lane. Find out what you good at, and guess what? Make that contribute to the body, Israel. You know, that's what this is all about, growing. Let's go back up. Sirach. You can start at verse 8 again. The book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 7.
Okay, verse 8.
Verse 8, slide.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 8. Beware of a counselor, and know before what need he has, for he will counsel for himself, lest he cast a lot upon thee.
Lest he cast a lot upon thee. Read on up.
And say unto thee, thy way is good.
Thy what?
Thy way is good.
Because sometimes you get some counselors out here that give bad advice and to tell you that you're doing good, knowing damn well you wicked as hell. You know, that's not the counsel. The Most High God is setting up our spearmen that's going to tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. You know, you shouldn't hold back, because guess what? That's helping building a brother up. When you lying to your brothers, first of all, that's breaking the Big Ten. And then secondly, that's not helping building that brother up. That's making them worse off than ever. Read on now.
And afterward, he stand on the other side.
And read that again now.
And afterward, he stand on the other side.
Then even in fact, he'll be opposite against you, telling other people, see, I told him, you know you didn't tell him nothing. You gave him the wrong advice, but then he'll use it to his advantage to make you look bad. You know, we have to watch out for brothers, for wicked counselors, as we call them. Read on up.
To see what shall befall thee.
To what?
To see what shall befall thee.
And sometimes we got wicked brothers out there that want to see you fail. You know, they want to. You know, we hate that in Israel, but like the scriptures say, all Israel is not of Israel. We have to learn to understand that scripture, man, because guess what? We have some brothers that's in this truth that's wicked as hell. Wicked brothers, man. We hate to say it, but guess what? That's what that is. It have always been like that throughout our history, man. It have always, and it's still gonna continue to the Most High weed they behinds out. Read on up.
Yeah, they set you up to fall. Someone will set you up to fall. So, and then on this other hand, they on the other side telling people how you gonna fall.
Yeah,
because they gave you the bad counsel, and that's to make yourself look good over here. Because now it looks like, well, see, he a prophet.
Yeah,
he prophesied she was gonna do this. Well, he didn't want counsel to do it. So it's a lot of things that you got to understand when you're dealing with Israel. Not just Israel, it's wickedness in our nation. Y'all got to understand that. We just woke up.
Exactly.
And you see it on Facebook every time. I'm talking about a brother just learned 2 days ago on there telling you everything. Because he be like, man, golly. Yeah, and then when you go back and show him, he don't even want to hear it. You be like, that's the scripture. They don't have understanding sometimes. So I always be looking around and knowing what problems. There's dangers out here all the time. You see what I'm saying? There's stumbling blocks. everything is trying to keep you from growing.
Exactly.
Everything's trying to hold you back. So take your careful steps into taking counsel also.
Exactly.
Don't just run to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take a careful step in what you're doing.
And like I said, that's what counsel is for. Counsel is to help let you see those stumbling blocks before they even come. And it teaches you how to combat it so that you can just keep moving forward, man. Guess what? We're going to keep having problems in Israel. You know, like we say, in your marriages and throughout your at work, you know, but the Most High gives us the medicine to defeat it. Read on up. Verse 10.
Verse 10. Smite and sunder.
Verse 10.
Yes, it's verse 10.
37 to 10.
37. So like it. Consult not with one that suspected thee.
So you don't consult with one that have an ill eye against you or that suspect you in anything. Because guess what? That can pollute his judgment on giving you right correction. Read on up.
And hide thy counsel from such as envy thee.
Read that again.
And hide thy counsel from such as envy thee.
So when you know a sister or a brother that have an envious spirit, guess what? You don't want to be seeking counsel from them either. You know, the Most High God is letting us know how to get counsel and who to get counsel from. That's what these scriptures is all about.
And it says try a friend. That's what y'all need to be doing too. Because when you try your friend, you better get to know them before you start dumping everything on your friend.
Exactly.
Because then y'all be like, I thought you was my friend. No, that's why he said try a friend. Find out if they're a friend or not. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it might take a year or so.
It takes time.
It takes time.
It does.
Because you can be around somebody, they just as phony as all outdoors in front of you. Mm-hmm. Go back home and talk all about you every day. Get back in your face and hey, happy every time. And you think they're your friend. Mm-hmm. And then you dump some information on you. Oh boy. Mm-hmm. And they take that information and they're going to try to destroy you with it. And so you got to try these people. Don't just, oh, they in Israel, hey, shalom, and I'm good. Mm-hmm. You know, I had a problem the other day. Do not do that.
Yeah, and you know, and you can tell the confidence of your friend when you telling your friend stuff. The next thing you know, we all what brothers we get around, and this brother started telling me about everything I just told him. Mm-hmm. It ain't how that works, man.
And that's how you'll know too. Like I said, sometimes you can just leave a nugget over here. Just let it sit there. Don't even worry about it. If it pop up over there, you know, I'll let that with that person. That's it.
That's it.
So how I get over there?
Mm-hmm.
The only way it could have got there is that one right here.
Exactly.
So don't. I ain't saying don't go out and leave a whole basket full of nuggets. You know what I'm saying? Your whole business out there. Just hey, I talked to this one about this one, and then if it get around somewhere, you start seeing things like that.
And then guess what? The Most High let you know, don't counsel with that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what that's all made for. Mm-hmm. The Most High revealed these spirits in due time, people. That's what, like we say, one thing that the scriptures goes over constantly is being patient in this truth. You have to put on a patient spirit, Israel. Nothing happens when we want it to. You know, nothing. You know, give me verse 11.
Verse 11. Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous.
Whom she is what?
She is jealous.
So you don't want to counsel with sisters or brothers that you know have a jealous spirit towards you. Read on out.
Neither with a coward in matters of war.
And this is going into man. You ain't gonna be talking to no brother that you know is a coward about war. That just don't make no sense because you know this brother ain't gonna bust a grape, man. Mm-hmm. All brothers is not built to fight Israel, even in Israel. Even though we're the strongest nation, some brothers don't have that fighting spirit in them, man. So you don't counsel with brothers about war with a brother that don't have that type of spirit. Read on out.
And ain't nothing wrong with that either.
No, it ain't.
You humble yourself and let people know you ain't about that war, man. That's what you do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing wrong with that. We still carry each other. Right? Exactly. We just got to carry you and cover you.
Because that's going back into what we just read, 1 Corinthians 12 and 4. Everybody got their role to play. Right. You know, if you know you ain't no warrior, guess what? We don't need you out there. Because any weak link in the chain, it breaks the whole chain, man. And we want all our brothers strong out there.
And we done been around brothers like that.
Oh, yeah.
They said, look, man, I ain't about this. Yeah. Man. I ain't about that life like that. But say, hey, brother,
sit on the
sideline. Just step back there, you know.
Glad you told me.
Exactly. That's the point. Don't be too prideful where you don't talk to nobody, because I know a lot of times Israel do have pride on. So we got to learn to shake that pride and learn to take counsel.
And not on that, it gives a heads up to the ones who are the warriors, because now you'd be like, well, I gotta fight a little harder because I'm missing a brother. He's got to step back, so I got to pick my game up to protect him also. Because we are still supposed to protect our brothers. If that ain't what he do, guess what? I just gonna throw a couple of more bees, just to take out this enemy. But I'm gonna protect him though.
That's right.
Go ahead. Nor with a merchant.
Nor with a merchant concerning exchange. Nor with a buyer of selling. Nor with an envious man of thankfulness, nor with a unmerciful man touching kindness.
So you don't want to counsel with unmerciful men, read on up, faking like they kind, read on.
Nor with slothful for any work.
So you also don't want to counsel with brothers or sisters that's slothful in this work, because guess what? They'll be slothful about giving you counsel, the correct counsel. Read on up.
Yeah, that brother that's sitting right there playing PlayStation all day, on the couch all the time, is going back and forth to the refrigerator. That's not who you want to counsel with. Nor with the hireling for a year of finishing work. Nor with an idle servant of much business.
Go ahead, I'm
just laughing at that. Hearken not unto these in any matter of counsel.
Any matter again, that last part.
Hearken not unto these in any matter of counsel.
So the Most High is giving us the guidelines. Do not seek people. Do not seek counsel of people that's dealing in this type of things.
And y'all need to learn them too, because he just broke down a whole list of everything.
He broke down Israel.
Don't do it with them. Don't do it with them. So when you see that person immediately like, nah, not that one. And then not that one. Because he done gave you a lot of characteristics to look for. He said, none of in any matter don't consult with none of them. Because you already gonna be led astray down to the wrong one. So learn that, man. We need to probably.
Yeah, we need to chunk that up.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, look, you want us to rock 37 and 11 people, man. I can't do that.
We'll post it on the wall. That way when you come in, you already know what not to cancel with. You go over there, have them was up there, and you laid on the couch and drinking the soda. Hey, can I get something to drink? Yeah, get it out the fridge. You know what I'm saying? They ain't getting it for nothing, man. You at their house, stuff like that. You notice that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Don't sit on the couch and take counsel with them. Like, all right, I gotta go. This is where I'm not supposed to be.
Read verse 12.
Verse 12. But be continually with a godly man.
So the Most High God is commanding us to be continually with a godly man. Read on.
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandment.
And I like that you put emphasis on that. I read that again.
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandments.
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Most High God. So you ain't gonna be asking Ray around the corner on how to, he's a whoremonger, and you ain't gonna be asking him on how to correct your marriage. Junebug on how to take care of your family when he's not doing that. What's a hood named Lisa? On how to provide and how to treat your husband. Go to men and women for godly counsel.
And
of godly. That's keeping
exactly. And listen to that. If your mama and your daddy is not in this truth, even though they raised you with all the counsel that they had, that is not the place you want to go get counsel from anymore. I'm just letting y'all know.
We sure missed that.
I don't care if it's your mama and it's your daddy, the same one that raised you up. Because if they not giving you the scriptures, guess what? My dad raised me up wrong. My mom raised me up wrong because they didn't raise me up according to this truth. So my dad's not here no more, not leaving my mom. But if they not in the truth, I don't want counsel from them.
That's right. And I give an example of myself this week. Down and visit my mom, and she said she's gonna cook us some fish. And then she told me what kind of fish she had. I looked at my boy. They immediately got their phones out and looked up what kind of fish that was, if it was clean or unclean. She said, "You just gonna look up everything you eat?" Hell yeah.
Right.
If that's for my salvation, yes, I am. Right. If it's for my family's salvation, they know what to do too. Yes, they are. We gonna look that up. We're not finna put anything in our body. That's a foul, not temple. That's breaking the commandments. That's what we're supposed to do. So guess what? she might not looked at that. She might look at that. Oh, they just trying to make themselves a bug. Yeah, but guess what? In the back of their mind, if she can just really think about, well, I mean, I might need to start doing it too.
Doing it too, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Because when sickness come on her, she gonna wonder why things is happening. I said, guess what? That's the reason why I look my food up, so I won't get sick either.
Well, I mean, it's the reason why they selling 20 pork chops in a pack.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? 5 for $19.99.
Yep.
You know, it's a reason. You gotta just start asking yourself questions. Why is they doing that? You know what I'm saying? Why is it going like that? Because it's the reason behind everything.
Yeah. Go ahead up. You can start at the top, but
Okay.
continue.
But be continual with the godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind.
So you want a counselor whose mind is according to the Most High God's mind.
That's right.
You know, read on up.
And will sorrow with thee, if thou shalt miscarry.
And so guess what? It's really going into married sisters and brothers. You know, you want a godly man or a godly sister, because guess what? Most time may take their child one time, and you want them to continue to be with them in the case that they do miscarry. Read on up. Verse 13.
And let the counsel of thy own heart stand, for there is no man more faithful unto thee than it.
Read on up.
For a man's mind is sometimes want to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in all in an high tower. And above all this, pray to the Most High.
Read that again.
And above all this, pray to the Most High.
So above all that, you want to pray to the Most High that He gives you the right counselor, that you're able to humble your spirit to take the counsel. You know, you want to pray for all these things. He said, above all, pray to the Most High, because like we always say, according to Matthew 6, the Most High give us anything that we ask for if it's according to the law, statutes, and commandments. Read on up.
Let reason go before.
Read verse 15 again.
And above all this, pray to the Most High, that He would direct thy path, thy way in truth.
Now jump down to verse 19.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
See, on that, it's basically saying after you seek all this counsel, make sure you're not seeking all the bad counsel. Make sure you're getting the godly counsel. After you seek all of this counsel, pray. And once you pray, then come up with the best decision that you can come up with. You don't just go straight out, I got the counsel, I'm finna go. No, he said pray too. Add that with your counsel. Don't just go in, okay, I want to reassure what the counsel is giving me is through the Most High God. So guess what? I'm gonna pray to make sure that thing goes out like the Most High God wanted to go.
And go back to verse 14 and read that. Read that verse 14.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 14. For a man's mind is sometimes want to tell him more than 7 watchmen.
See, and that's going back to leaning not to your own understanding, because your mind will deceive you. You'll start thinking of some wicked stuff for real. That's why you gotta see count. And then he's saying of 7 watchmen that sit up on high. They watching everything. They can see everything, but you finna go in and tell them they can't see nothing. Now you ain't see. How can you tell? I'm looking at the people coming down the road, and you can't even see the road. But your mind thinking, I know everything. I know what I'm doing. No, you don't. So be careful when you start thinking what you thinking.
Exactly. You know, like I said, a lot of times we have a war in our own minds, Israel. That's why the Most High God said, let all that stuff go and just don't lean on your own understanding. That's a law. When you're not doing it, that's breaking God's laws, man. Read verse let's go to read verse 16.
Verse 16. Let reason go before thy enterprise.
Let reason go before every enterprise. Read on up.
And counsel before every action.
Before every action, Israel. The Most High God is giving us the guidelines, man. Now, it's to say like any major actions, you know, because you ain't just, can I eat a sandwich? Let me go counsel with the brother. So you know that's not talking about that. We're talking about major things that brothers and sisters is dealing with. Read on up.
The countenance is a sign of changing of the heart.
Read that again.
The countenance is a sign of changing of the heart.
And you got to wonder why the Most High put that in with all this counsel, because a lot of times brothers and sisters' countenance change when you give them correction, man. So the Most High God is letting us know, hey, don't change your countenance, man. Accept what I'm giving you and move forward. Give me verse now. Jump to verse 19.
Verse 19. There is one that is wise and teacheth many.
Read that again.
There is one that is wise and teacheth many.
Read on.
And yet is unprofitable to himself.
We have some brothers and sisters. I mean, not sisters. This is mainly talking about the men when you out there teaching. Read that again. Let's break
There
this
is
down.
one that is wise and teacheth many.
So you have brothers out there that is wise and teaching many, and read on.
And yet it's unprofitable to himself.
But he can't seem to correct the mistakes in his life. You know, that's not a man of the Most High God. The Most High God is looking for a man that's corrected his life, and then you can correct the people too. You need to be profitable first to yourself, then you can be even more profitable to the teacher to the people that you teach. Because when we out there teaching, we are setting an example for the people on how to be. Because being in leadership position, it is more than just pulling scriptures. You know, it's a lifestyle. You have to conduct your way a certain way. You have to talk a certain way. You have to be a certain way, because you are constantly setting the example, setting the tone for the congregation and for your people to kind of follow after. So we always want to make sure that you're being profitable first to yourself, then to the people that you teach. Give me let's go to 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. This is a basic one all of us should know. We always go over this, man. I love this. We kind of get into the dealings of how the Most High God deals. Because we always want to know about the Most High, but he gives us a little snippet in every so often through the scriptures. You got that up?
Yes. 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne.
He did what?
I saw the Lord sitting on his throne. And all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab?
Who shall do what?
Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said of this mountain, and another said of that mountain. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him.
So we're seeing a vision of getting a snippet into how the Most High God deals. So when the Most High God is up in heaven, he even takes counsel, Israel. Like he said, he has good angels on the right side of him, and guess what? He even have evil angels on the other side of him. Yes, Israel, is evil angels up there in heaven with the Most High God, man. A lot of people don't understand these things, but it's in the scriptures, Israel. Matter of fact, we can get that real quick. Give me Psalm 78 and 49. There are evil angels. Because like I say, the Most High God, he's the dictator. He's the ruler of this kingdom. So, the Most High God, one of his names is King of Terrors. So a lot of times he can send terrible, evil angels to inflict terrible judgment upon people. You got that up?
Yes, 78 and 49.
Yeah.
The book of Psalm, chapter 78, verse 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them.
By doing what?
Sending evil angels among them.
So guess what? The Most High God, when he want to bring judgment on you, he sent evil angels to inflict terrible pain and judgment on people, man. So it is evil angels up there dwelling with the Most High God. Let's go back up.
And that's one thing I just noticed about this scripture right here. A lot of times, the Most High, he's asking who's going to stand up for him. He's asking for volunteers to stand up for him. He even asking his angel, who's going to do this? Who's going to do that?
Exactly.
He's asking to see which one of y'all going to stand up and do it. And I just got some out of that one.
Exactly. We're going to read verse 20 again.
And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab?
So the Most High God is asking the angels, who shall persuade Ahab? Now we know Ahab was the wicked king. He was thinking of a way to bring terrible judgment on him. So the Most High God is counseling, who shall persuade Ahab? Read on out.
That he may go up and fall to Ramoth Gilead.
That he may go up and I'm going to kill him at Ramoth Gilead. Read on.
And one said to it this matter.
And he said, and one angel said on this matter. So one angel stand up, hey, I got this idea, Most High. And read on.
And another said on this matter.
So another one stood up, no, I have an even better one idea on how to judge them. Read on now.
And there came forth the spirit.
Read that again.
There came forth the spirit.
So guess what? Then there came forth a bold spirit that stood up. Read on.
And stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him.
He stood up. He knew that what he had, the Most High God was going to be agreed with. So he stood up, hey, I got something for you, Most High, on how we can bring judgment on him. Read on now.
And the Lord said unto him, wherewith?
Then the Most High God is asking him, how you going to do it? Read on.
And you know that the thing about it is, these were the good angels. They was talking about, well, I'm going to do this, I could do this. And this, remember he said he got evil angels. Then the evil angel said, oh, I got something for you.
Exactly.
You know, he stood up, yeah, I got something for him.
That's a Negro conversation.
Yeah, boy.
That's not nobody else but Negroes talking right now, man. That's it, that's all.
Yeah.
Go ahead, 22.
And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets.
Read that again.
He said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets.
That's how we know this. It's an evil angel, because he's lying. He said he's going to be a lying spirit and the prophet of all his angels. Read on up.
And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. And then go forth and do so.
So the Most High said, guess what? You want that thing, you're gonna accomplish that thing, and you gonna accomplish it. Read on up.
Now therefore, behold, the Lord had put a lying spirit in the mouth of all thy prophets, all these thy prophets, and the Lord has spoken evil concerning thee.
So guess what? That's just giving you a little snippet of even the Most High God takes counsel. Even though we know he already knows what he wants to do, he just giving us an example on, guess what? Even I take counsel too. You know, so surely us as being puny men can take counsel.
And even the decision that was after, even though that angel stood up and did everything, the Lord said, and it says right in there, the next one, therefore, behold, the Lord put a lying spirit. The Lord did this. Even though it said the angel stood up, when it's all said and done, the Lord did it. Okay, I took counsel, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Exactly.
It's my decision. Everything happened because of him. So
He humbled himself.
there you go.
And a lot of times, let's get some scriptures on that, because a lot
like
of
I said, you know, he took the counsel, but I mean, you know, he gave everybody a chance to put feet. You know,
Yeah,
get their opinion, get what they thought they could do. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Even though he didn't even have to do none of that.
exactly.
Because he's righteous too. He's gonna, okay, I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna listen to you. Then I'm gonna come up with a righteous judgment when I'm finished. When I listen to everything that's going on, and this is how our Most High God does it. So how are we as a
Going to go
we
against
are,
the, exactly,
and
go
then
against
try to
the
do
grind.
stuff so different? I'm making all the decisions. I don't need you. What you talking about? I don't need what you talking about. I don't need what you talking about. That you ain't number. You that evil spirit,
And it's just out of order.
and that's exactly what that is. Man. It's not doing what the Most High God does. If he got to order the way he do it, and he take counsel, why shouldn't we?
Exactly.
Even if I got something to tell this person, I should seek these brothers before I even run my mouth and tell you anything. I need to make sure, okay, did you get the same thing out the scriptures on this? Did you get the same thing out the scriptures on this? Okay. Now I should be able to come in. Or if I tell you something, we're supposed to be able to back it up with this word.
And then on that counsel, man, that build brothers up, man.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? When you got brothers around you and you making all the decisions, that's not building nobody up. You know what I'm saying? Something, you know, it just build brothers up.
That's all it does. That's what it's made for. Let's touch on a few things, because a lot of times we constantly hear this when we out on the streets, that God doesn't kill people, that God is just all good. But we're going to give you some precepts, and that's really one of the main ones, let you know God does evil on the planet. Give me 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6, real quick. Because the Most High God, he kills and he makes alive, Israel. Yes, he kills people. Little babies, he kills them. Yes, he does.
You can look in the so-called Edomite Guinness Book of World Record. They said who has the most kills. They got God on it.
Exactly. No, he's nothing to be played with.
crazy.
And these things is to make our people fear him, man, because he is nothing to be played with. You got that out?
And that record is lopsided too.
It is, man. It's I don't even want to know the depth toll.
Yeah, however many did to zero. That's what it is.
Go ahead and read that out.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 6. The Lord killeth.
The Lord what?
The Lord killeth.
Read on now.
And maketh alive.
And does what?
And maketh alive.
Read it up.
He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich.
So when you seeing poor people out there on the streets, guess what? The Most High did that too for his own reasons. Now for us to try to get into the head of the Most High, we cannot do that. His ways are higher than our ways. Read on up.
He bringeth low and lift it up.
He does what?
Bring it low and lift it up.
Let's go to Isaiah 45 and 7.
And hold on a second. Let me expand.
Go ahead.
A lot of times when we see people that's rich in Israel and they ain't doing nothing, the Most High allowed that to happen.
Exactly.
So when we seeing athletes on the TV doing that, don't be tripping on them because the Most High allowed that to happen. Some of them are going to be getting rich for destruction.
Exactly.
Some of them are rich because they'll come to this truth and they'll bless the nation of Israel.
And read verse 8. Matter of fact, it clears it up.
He raising up the poor out of the dust.
Guess what? We are the poor right now, Israel. And guess what? He raising us up out of that dust, putting us and setting us up like the true kings and princesses of the earth. Read on.
And lifted up the beggar from the dunghill. To set them among princes.
To do what?
To set them among princes.
Read on now.
And to make them inherit the throne of glory.
The Most High is trying. He wants us to inherit the throne of glory. But guess what? In order to inherit the throne, you got to be able to know and be able to accept correction. Read on.
For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he had set the world upon them.
Guess what? That word is talking about Israel. People, we are the world according to the Most High God. Let's go to Isaiah 45 and 7 real quick.
And that's like when we downtown preaching too, man. We down there speaking sometimes, and you see the people that's walking around and they don't seem like they in their right mind. And it's the ones that listen. It's the ones that you be like, man, they far gone or they not in their right mind. And they homeless, don't got nothing, eating out the trash cans and stuff like that. Them the ones that really be sitting there listening and grasping in. And later on, you ain't even gonna notice. They be done came up to you, hey man, I want to join your group, but they ain't gonna let you know. Exactly. That was that homeless one that y'all was talking to down there that you never recognized it. You don't even recognize him no more. But that's why it's always important to think that everybody in Israel, the Most High is can be dealing with them. All you got to do is set a seed. Even if it's somebody you don't like, somebody you think that they're just, they ain't gonna make it. So you never know what the Most High is
doing. These athletes, man, the NBA and the NFL and all that is not a platform for the Most High work, man. So people be expecting these brothers to stand up for us, man. He told us to go to the highways and byways, man. Not in football stadiums and basketball stadiums, man. So our people got to stop expecting them brothers, man, to be there for Israel, man, because that's not what they ordained to do, man.
And then they sit there and, oh, what's name doing this? Man, well, Charlie's been doing it. So why are you sitting up there tripping out because LeBron all of a sudden saying, I ain't black no more? Niggas, you follow the commandments now? You know, that's what we need to do. But Charlie, you know, Charlie been following the commandments for the last 5 years. Don't get excited because he all of a sudden just decided to do it. They halfway do it anyway. They get a little publicity, get the black people on their side, and run right back over there and do what Esau telling them to do and love them.
Give me 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 6. Oh, yeah, we go to Isaiah. Give me Isaiah 45 and 7. Just give you another witness to that precept, let you know that the Most High, he kills, man. We got to stop thinking that we know how the Most High God thinks. He's telling us how he is in the scriptures. We just got to read the scriptures and accept it. A lot of people reject that, man. A lot of Christians reject that because they just can't see, my God, I'm covered in the blood. Yes, he kills people. Read that up.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness.
And does what?
And create darkness.
Read on up.
I make peace and create evil.
So when you see wars going on, guess what? The Most High is doing that too. Matter of fact, he go stir up World War III for our sakes, Israel. So the Most High God kills and he makes peace, Israel. You know, that's just clear cut, man.
Let me get a precept on that.
Go ahead,
We get Deuteronomy 32, 39. He's going to tell you verbatimly what he does.
That's that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with
He said there is no God with him. That means nobody can do the works that he does. Read on.
I kill.
He said he do what?
I kill.
He said he is the one that kills. When you see a man pull a gun and pull the trigger, who administrated that thing to happen? He didn't administrate. I don't care how mad you think you are. You can't, if you had a gun in your pocket, if the Lord tell you, you can point that gun at me all day long. He said, you can't kill me. You cannot kill. If you sitting this close, you can't kill me.
Right.
Because he said he the one that kills, man. Read on.
And I make alive.
He the one that make alive. Read on.
I wound.
He said he the one that wounded. So you see little Pookie, he survived that gunshot. He said when he said he won that wound, read on.
And I heal.
And he the one that healed little Pookie. Let him come out and gave him grace. That's grace and mercy.
Right.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my
He
hand.
said nobody can deliver out of my hands. So when the Most High God said he put the work in, he said I put the work in. That's why when he sent his son Yahushua come back, he said he gonna tread the wine press what? Alone. So he orchestrates everything.
And another little thing that I want to throw in there. When Yahushua was on that cross, remember he had the Spirit of the Most High in him, right? And he said he gave up the ghost. Y'all remember that part? When he said he gave up the ghost, if he didn't give that up, we'd be still looking at him right now, still on that cross. Still on that bridge. Been up at 2,000 years, man. Because he had to give up the ghost. I had to let this spirit get out of me in order for this body to die. Because if he hadn't have done that, that spirit be still up in there, just chilling. They be like, God, we're gonna stab this body all up. This man is still on here. That's how the power of the Most High got. When he got his spirit, when he doing what he want to do. He can keep your body alive. You can actually go, if he wanted to, yeah, he been lived with that same body. He'd be just wrinkled all up. 2,000-year-old man, be like, man, I just wish I just died tomorrow or something. You know what I'm saying? He can do that. But you gotta know that he can do this. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of this is showing you. He controls everything.
He does. Give me 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 1. Now we'll touch on Rehoboam. Like Mac was bringing out earlier, wanted to a knucklehead that didn't take the correct counsel. And like I said, that's what this class is all about. You know, taking counsel, Israel. That's what these scriptures is all about. Go ahead, up.
And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel were to come to Shechem to make him king. And it came to pass, when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, whom was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of the king Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt, that they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore make thy grievous service of thy father, and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter, and will serve thee.
And we'll serve
we will serve thee.
And this is going into the split of the tribes, the split of the southern and northern tribes. So Rehoboam is letting them know, Jeroboam, hey, if you seek the counsel of the elders, guess what? I'm gonna make your load lighter, and we're gonna read on up.
And he said unto them,
jump the gun. Go ahead.
Depart yet for 3 days, and come again to me. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men. So King Rehoboam is consulting with the elders, read on, that stood before Solomon his father, while he yet lived, and said, how do you advise that I may answer this people?
How do you advise or counsel that I may answer this people? Let's see what it says.
And another thing, this man was going to consult with the old man that was counseling his father. So they had a ton of experience. They've been counseling his father. And then even some was still counseling his father. David was in that same counsel. So not only were they wise, they had experience through when they was giving counsel.
Exactly.
And this is what we'll finish reading from that point on.
Go ahead.
And they spake unto him, saying, If thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them and answer them and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever.
Then they will be what?
Thy servants forever.
So he's letting them know, hey, if you just let them know, speak good to them, give them kind words, the tribes is gonna stay together. Read on up.
But he forsook the counsel of the old man.
Read verse 8 again.
But he forsook the counsel of the old men.
Being like a Negro in the streets, he forsook the counsel of the old men. He didn't want to do what they had established, what they had experienced in. You know, that's what we have to learn to do, Israel. Take the counsel from the brothers that have experience, that done been through some things. Read on up.
Which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him.
So instead of taking the counsel of the old experienced men, he took the counsel of the young, dumb Negroes.
And Rehoboam at this time is like 20 years old.
You know, so
the people that grew up with him, they 20 years old. He ain't number getting counsel from some youngsters.
Still wet behind him.
Just got off the corner, you know what I'm saying? You know, just got out of juvenile detention center. Yeah, man, what y'all think? And you know how they gonna do it. You know how youngsters do it.
When you the same age, man, y'all all got the same ideas, man. You want to do the same thing.
They got a young mind.
So you gonna agree quick. It's gonna be a quick agreement. Everybody gonna be down for it. It's gonna be whatever. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be something terrible.
Exactly.
What you want to do? They're gonna take you mad. They're gonna get the guns. You know, you go to the older man. Man, y'all better sit down and talk about it, man. He telling you, hey, something good been up. You go to the youngsters.
They go get the scraps.
Let's go get him, man. Let's go do this, man. Do just like the video. You know what I'm saying? That's what they feel.
Guess what? Most High bring judgment and kill everybody.
Exactly.
Give me verse 10 up.
Verse 10. And the young men that were
what is it? Verse 9.
And he said unto them, What counsel give that ye may answer this people, whom have spoken to me, saying, Make the yoke which thy father did put upon us lighter.
Read on.
And the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, Thou shalt speak unto this people, and spake unto thee, saying, Thy father made our yoke heavy.
Because Solomon was making their yokes heavy, because during the time of Solomon, he started going off in the end, listening to his wives of the other nations, setting up idols, setting up groves, and then he was taxing the other people to build those things. Read on, Knox. So he was making their yoke harder. Read on.
But make thou it lighter unto us.
So they letting them know, could you make it a little lighter on us than what Solomon did. Read on.
And what's so bad about it, they even letting them know, we'll pay the taxes. Just don't take all our money every time we go and make a dollar. You don't take it all, we'll pay taxes to keep everything going. But and besides, the temple was built too. That's why Solomon used a lot of them at that time also. So they didn't even have to build the temple. The temple has already been built. The money is spent. So Rehoboam was just being a little Negro. And thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us. Thou should say unto them, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's loin. So
the young men basically told him, no, we're gonna make it even worse than what your father did to them. We're gonna make it even tougher on them. Read on up.
That's it. And now, whereas my father did lad you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. So the counsel that he got from the young men made the situation even worse, Israel. So you don't want to listen to young, unexperienced brothers in this truth dealing with your problems. Read on up. My father had chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. Man, he was going to make it tough on him, man. He wasn't playing no games. But jump down to verse 15. Verse 15. Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people. So he didn't listen to the people. Read on. For the cause was from the Lord. And a lot of times when the Most High searches the spirit and the thoughts of a man, he know if you really want to do wickedly or righteously.
So this cause was from the Lord because he knew that Rehoboam was wicked as hell. So he just put the spirit in him to not even go with the program. Read on up.
And the Lord had all this thing. Then let me show you. All of this stuff he had happened because of something that we done before. But all of this stuff he allowed to happen. So now you can look in these scriptures and learn the lesson from these.
Exactly.
That's why a lot of stuff was allowed by the Most High for such a time as this, because this is the last hour, this is the last day, and y'all living in it. So these scriptures and the way he allowing this to happen, even when Rehoboam, that was the Most High having him doing that, because it was prophesied this was going to happen to the king.
Anyway, yeah.
But it's for your learning,
Exactly.
so that you can do better. All of this stuff was done for this time right now, that it's coming to y'all in this last hour, and you can make your decisions according to your forefathers, that the Most High allowed the good and the bad things happen to.
Go ahead. Is that it?
Well,
Now let's go to Isaiah 9:6.
Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born.
So this is the prophet Isaiah prophesying about Christ. Read on.
Unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders.
So when Christ come back, the government is going to be Christ. Christ, the 12 disciples with the 144. That's going to be the new government on the planet Earth, to rule with a rod of iron. Read on up.
And his name shall be called Wonderful.
So one of Christ's names is called Wonderful. Read on.
Counselor.
Read that again up.
Wonderful. Counselor.
So guess what? Christ is our counselor. These scriptures is our counselors. Do we have to learn to do what this Bible say? Learn to take counsel, because guess what? Even Christ counsels with the Most High. You know. Read on up.
The mighty God, the everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Now let's go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 12.
And that government is this Bible. So if you're against this Bible right now, believe me, you already sentenced for something already then. Because when the kingdom comes, the new kingdom comes, this is the government that's set up. So if you're against these laws right now, you might as well go ahead and sentence yourself for something, because it's coming, and it's gonna be laws that we're gonna have to go by. These same laws that we're going by now. That's why we're practicing the righteous act.
Exactly. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 12.
Book of Ephesians chapter 4, verse 12. For the perfecting of the saints.
And we know through the scriptures that the saints is the Israelites. It says the perfecting. We know that keeping the law, statutes, and commandments makes us perfect. Read on.
For the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ.
So this is for the edifying of the body of Christ. That's what the Most High God has these congregations set up like this, to edify us, to teach us on how to counsel and how to keep his law, statutes, and commandments. Read on up.
Till we come in the unity of the faith.
And this is why, till we come into the unity of the faith. Read on up.
And of the knowledge of the Son of Yahweh.
So we have to get the knowledge of the true Messiah, Yahweh Shah. Not this Sigil Bozer image. Read on up.
Unto a perfect man.
Unto a what?
Unto a perfect man.
Read on up.
Unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ.
So guess what? When you taking counsel, that helps correct you to get to the fullness of the statue of Christ. That is the ultimate goal, so we can be seen in the same as according to Christ. To come into that statue, even just a little bit statue of Christ. That's what this is all about, helping building us up to get on Christ's level. Give me Psalm 16 and 7.
Book of Psalms, chapter 16, verse 7. I will bless the Lord who had given me counsel.
Read that again up.
I will bless the Lord who hath given me counsel.
So we have to bless the Most High when He gives us the correct counsel, Israel. You have to counsel, like we say, pray 2 or 3 times a day, man. Get those prayers up, man. The Most High God, when you keeping His commandments, like we say, it's nothing that the Most High God won't give you according to His law, statutes, and commandments. Read on up.
My reins also instruct me in the sight of season, in the night of season.
In the night of season.
I'm sorry, Salaki.
Give me Psalms chapter 73, verse 24.
Book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 24. Thou shalt guide me with thy counsel.
So God guides us with His counsel through the scriptures. That's how we get correction. That's what we learn what not to do, to turn back from that mistake that we done made and go move forward. You know, don't turn back into that same sin or that same mistake. Read on up.
And afterward receive me to glory.
Because guess what? When you take that counsel, the next step is to get the kingdom, the glory in the kingdom, Israel. That's the next step. Because you getting built up to the stature of Christ. Give me Psalms 33 and 11.
The book of Psalms, chapter 33, verse 11. The counsel of the Lord standeth forever.
So this counsel of the Most High God, this Bible, it's going to stand forever, Israel. Like we read back in 2 Timothy 3 and 16. Profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, instructions in righteousness, Israel. That's what this Bible is all about, correction. We got to learn to take the medicine, Israel. Read on up.
The thoughts of his heart to all generations.
To son.
To all generations.
So this Bible is going to be to all generations of Israel. Guess what? In the kingdom of the other nations, they going to have to keep the commandments too, man. They going to keep God's commandments, or He going to make it not rain on them. Most time ain't playing no games in the end, man. All nations going to have to come up under Israel. Give me Joshua 1 and 8. I was gonna say these basic precepts, man. Y'all write these things down and kind of go over.
The book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
So when you taking counsel, doing the things that's in this scripture, counsel is a part of this Bible, Israel. Then the Most High God said, that's when you're going to be prosperous. Read on.
And then thou shalt have good success.
So when you're taking good counsel, then you will start to have, guess what? Good success, Israel. You know, like I said, just a basic precept, but getting the understanding of it, man. Learning to just do what's in the scriptures. Give me Sirach 8:9.
And also reading those basic precepts, you might think you can't get nothing out of it again. But when you reread it, man, sometimes it hits you in a different direction. It guides you in a different path. Because like what Job 11 and 6 said, that those scriptures sometimes mean double.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what we got to look at too.
Sirach 8:9.
The book of Sirach, chapter 8, verse 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife.
Sirach chapter 8, verse 9.
Isn't it? Chapter 8, verse 9. Oh, that's 9, verse 9. I'm sorry. Despise not the discourse of the wise.
Verse 9. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Miss not.
Miss not the discourse of the elders.
So the Most High God is letting us know, don't miss the discourse of the elders, you know, of the people that He have in leadership. Read on.
For they also learn of their fathers.
Because guess what? We are learned of our forefathers even before us. Brothers and sisters that taught us in this truth. Because we all had to learn from somebody. Nobody just woke up with the knowledge. You know, you have to be taught this Bible. Read on up.
And of them thou shalt learn understanding.
Read that again up.
And of them thou shalt learn understanding.
Because guess what? You'll get more and more understanding the more times we're together. That's why we say class is very important. This helps build you spiritually. You know, you want to be here as much as you can, you know, soaking up all the knowledge. Read on.
And to give answer as need required.
And that answer can go into counsel too, to give counsel as need required. Because we constantly do need to be counseling amongst each other, you know, because we understand brothers and sisters can be catching hell on the job, catching hell with the family, catching hell just in all facets of life. So you kind of want to counsel about that to get over those hurdles, man. Give me Sirach 5 and 2.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 2. Follow not thy own mind and thy strength, to walk in the ways of thy heart.
So a lot of times when brothers and sisters don't want to take correction, that's what they are doing. They following to walk after their own heart, after their own mind. The Most High God says, do not do that, Israel. That'll cause you to err. That'll cause you to sin, Israel. Read on.
And say not, who shall control me for my work?
And say not what?
Who shall control me
that's
for
what
my work?
That's it. I want. Give me this last precept. Give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16 and verse 26. Like I said, it was just a little short class. Wanted to kind of, I had another class prepared, but I kind of want to touch on some things that was, you know, related to the Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 26. You know, you kind of always want to make classes that relates to the congregation of what people are going through. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 26.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 26. That thy children, O Lord, whom thou lovest, might know that this is not the growing of fruits that nourish man, but that it is thy word.
That it is thy what?
Thy word.
So it is the words of the Most High God that help nourishes us to grow, Israel. That's what's gonna get us over those hurdles that we face in our everyday lives. You know, the words, the laws of this Bible, reading the examples that our forefathers did and learning from those mistakes, not walking in the same paths that some of them did. Read on up.
Which preserveth them that put their trust in thee.
Which what?
Preserveth them that put their trust in thee.
That preserve is, guess what? Going into the kingdom. Most High, you'll be preserved for the kingdom, Israel. You know, Most High has never failed no one that trusted in him. No one, Israel. So you have to learn to take the counsel and the correction from leadership, Israel, so we can just move forward. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom. Let's see that one you just read off. Which one? Rock 5.
You should have read 3. I gave you 3.